What do you do on a rainy day in Singapore? I know what to do. I take shelter. Welcome inside a typical Singapore hawker center. These are huge food courts, symbol of multiculturalism in the city, where locals interact and bond over a plate of affordable and authentic cuisine.
Okay, and the first thing that I've been able to secure for myself is this pretty rare thing which is called oyster cake, and I bought this at this little stall called Maxwell Fuzhou Oyster Cakes or something. I might be misspelling that, but essentially this is a pretty rare treat. It's an oyster cake, and it's a traditional Chinese origin kind of snack which is kind of slowly disappearing from Singapore. And this one in Maxwell Food Centre is one of the rare stalls that actually still sell it. So I'm pretty lucky to have found it. For £2.50 you have this beautiful oyster cakes which are gonna unravel, and so you get this kind of brown crust on the outside, and I think it should be filled with oyster, right? Oyster cake. Anyway, let's try this. Yeah. Beautiful crust on the outside, crunchy. Not that oily, so it's not stodgy, and it's packed with oyster and a nice and refreshing kind of herbal taste. I'm not entirely sure if it's cilantro, the green thing inside as well. Definitely a snack that you need to try in Singapore before this thing disappears.
I still did not have a bowl of Singapore laksa that really blows my mind. Here in Maxwell Food Centre, Old Nyonya is the place to go. I've read mixed reviews about this place, but I'm willing to give it a go. Most people praise this laksa stall for the generous amount of toppings, and I have to say the first impressions are really good.
And after 30 minutes of going around finding for a table, I found a table finally, and I just wanted to try this Nyonya Laksa, Peranakan kind of traditional Singaporean dish. Bowl of coconut and spice soup, topped with fish cakes, some big shrimps, a beautiful egg. Just gonna try the rich broth first. So you can see the coconut milk and the bubbles of chili oil.
Yeah, you can see it on my face. That broth hits the right spot. I honestly feel really happy right now. It's like I'm in my own world, in Singapore, so far away from home, stirring and savoring famous Singapore cuisine. These noodles have the right amount of chewiness, and some shrimps on the bottom. I never know if I'm supposed to eat them with the entire tail. I've seen some locals doing it. And oh yeah, a special mention for this thing. I believe this is a tofu puff, and they soak this laksa broth like a sponge, releasing all the coconut and spicy broth inside your mouth. Like, so delicious. And yet maybe the broth is a bit watered down, not as thick as dense as I was hoping for, but the taste is good.
Okay, next up in this glorious hawker center evening here in Singapore, I was craving some duck, and so I got the opportunity to get some duck with rice and cucumber in this stall in front of me. It looks amazing. You got the duck on top of the rice with the skin on. I think there is an honey and soy sauce glaze. There are some slices of cucumber as well. We get a bit of the cucumber, we'll get a bit of the rice and a bit of duck. That looks like a good bite. The duck is full of soy sauce. Not really sweet. I thought there was like some honey kind of glaze, but I think it's just like dark soy sauce, ketchup mayonnaise, but it's not too sweet. The rice is soft. I think it's similar to basmati rice. And yeah, it's just like a nice plate of rice and duck if you're craving, like I was, some duck and rice this evening. I have nothing to tell in terms of, it's incredible or the stall is famous. I just grabbed the first duck and rice stall that I could see, and I'm really happy with this. So the only thing that I would want to mention is that the pieces of duck are really nice and fatty and juicy, but they've got bones inside, so that's inconvenient, but you know, the dish itself is good and the ambience is really nice. I don't normally go to Hawker Centre in the evening because it's usually, most of the stalls are usually closed, but I'd say that the ambience is really cool here in Singapore tonight. As per usual, after every big food tour of any Hawker Centre, you need to visit your favorite Chinese dessert shop. I didn't have a favorite here at Maxwell Food Centre because I'm new to this Hawker Centre, but I went for a peach jelly Chinese dessert, cold obviously, with longan fruits I think inside as well. It's a nice way to just finish your food tour after you're essentially burnout with MSG food and lots of savory and umami flavors. This goes down really nice. Oh yeah, cold jelly, very refreshing, not too sweet as usual for Chinese dessert. I love Chinese dessert because they are not very sweet. Lots of things inside which you don't even know what they are. Beans, chilies, you don't know. So nice. Some bits of this thing have got the texture of a beef tendon, very strange. If you want the sensation of not knowing what you're eating after you chew, then you need to visit one of these Chinese dessert shops.